Hello, my name is Kevin Malandropoulos, your Director of Assessment and Accountability. I'm here today with our STAAR Alt 2 and TELPAS Alt Spring of 2025 testing training. Thanks for being here. We will say this a lot of times throughout this presentation, and we say that a lot every year when we train for STAAR Alt 2, that just because we're watching this video does not take the place of reading the appropriate manuals. The manuals are key to TELPAS Alt and having a great, successful testing season. STAAR Alt 2. What is STAAR Alt 2? It is an alternate assessment based on alternate academic achievement standards. It's for our students with the most significant cognitive disabilities who are also receiving special education services. And Hayes CISD basically is our kiddos that qualify for our foundational learning programs. And our teachers do a great job with STAAR Alt 2 and with the foundational learning kiddos in general. So thank you. What subjects are tested? It's basically everything. If there is a STAAR test or end of course test, there is a STAAR Alt 2 test for that particular subject or course. One thing about high school is there are no retest opportunities. So if a student takes an end of course Alt 2 and does not meet the recommended requirements, the ARD will not have the option to make the student retest. There's no retesting. Participation requirements. If you are listening to this, I am sure you've seen these documents and have reviewed these documents in the appropriate ARD committees. Basically what we say, and I think we've gotten it down to a pretty good, I'll never say 100%, but 99.9%. If students qualify for foundational learning, they qualify for STAAR Alt 2. Again, there's resources, and you'll have all of the slides. The key dates for STAAR Alt 2. We will usually get our materials around spring break, and we get that out to your testing coordinators, and the assessment window is right after spring break. We can order additional materials if we have new students. The distribution of materials, I work with your testing coordinators. That's usually an assistant principal, and we always have to sign the materials out every day and sign them back in. So please don't get caught in trying to keep materials in your room. We sign them back out, we sign stuff back in every day. The various manuals. Again, the test administrator manual, this is your go-to. We have some samples of how you can practice with that before, but everything that's in that test administrator manual, if you follow that and read that and do those things, you will have a good round of testing. The topics for the training, we talk about test security. Again, if you're checking things out and back in every day, we usually do pretty well with that. And then this is our official training that we have to do. Get questions about who can administer the test. Ideally, it should be the student's teacher, but sometimes a paraprofessional may know that student more, may work with that student a little bit better depending on the student's needs and things like that. So a para can serve as test administrators as needed. We just want the other trained teacher to be available in the room when we do the testing. The preview window. Some students require the STAAR Alt 2 materials to be prepped or whatever to help meet the needs of the individual students. These are all the things that are allowed during that preview time. The only thing with that is the teacher will actually see the test and can prep the materials, but we should not use the preview window as a pre-teach. That would definitely be an irregularity and supported as such. So the preview window is for the teacher to prepare the materials, but it's not to preview with kids. These slides are the same over the last few years. We get the image cards. You don't have to use them if the students don't need them. Various things on the image cards. Again, it explains all of this in the test administrator manuals. We do have to return these things, so please do not keep those in your classrooms either. Parts about the testing environment. We want to give the tests where the students feel most comfortable. We wouldn't typically test them in a setting where they don't normally go during the normal school day. So it's one-on-one, and it's really based on what the kids need. Questions about the cameras in the classrooms. This really is never an issue, but there's the information on that. If you get any questions on this, feel free to contact myself. This changed a few years ago for students that moved to our district or to a new campus. We used to not have to test those kiddos after that first day when the window opened. Now they're telling us that we do have to test those students. So know the kids. This was new last year, and this hasn't really been an issue, but please reach out if you are having any issues with getting a kid tested. Again, if a student shows up the last day of the window or something like that, we might have to contact TEA if we think we cannot get testing completed. But for all your students, if you start the testing early, we shouldn't have any issues. There are release tests out there. If you can go to the TEA page, full release tests for the various years. When you are reading your test administrator manual, it talks about these things with the essence statements and the instructional terms. Again, all these things you can preview for old tests and see what and help you out with the administration. But if you're following that manual, you will absolutely have all the information that you need. As we're given the assessment, we will fill out the scoring documents. All subjects will have 24 questions. The last few years, like some of the tests had a varying number of questions, but now all tests will have the 24 questions. All the answer documents will basically look the same. Once you are done with testing, we say get with your testing coordinator, and then we usually like to sit side by side so that either one person is reading and one person is typing into the data entry system to get it into the Cambium platform. So that's that. We have various score codes where kids may have been arted out of testing for whatever reason. It's kind of rare, but we do have some of these with a no authentic academic response. If you have any questions about score codes, definitely let us know. And then a bunch of resources. Again, TA puts out a lot of good resources for STAAR L2. So if you have any questions, reach out to myself, your SPED reps, or go to the websites. All right, TELPAS alternate. This will be pretty quick because there's no changes to TELPAS alternate assessment for the last couple of years. The thing about TELPAS alternate is it follows the dates for TELPAS. So we will do all of our TELPAS pieces sooner than we do our STAAR Alt2 testing pieces, but these are the dates here. What is TELPAS alternate? It's a holistic inventory. It's basically a 40-question survey that the teacher fills out. The students do not have to do anything with TELPAS alternate. It's something that if you have a kiddo that qualifies for TELPAS alternate, you will fill out the 40-question survey, 10 questions each for listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You will get with your testing coordinator, and just like STAAR Alt, we will enter the information into the system. Who takes this? It's for students who qualify for STAAR Alt2, but they're also emergent bilingual students. There is a little difference on grade 2 since there's no STAAR Alt2 test at grade 2, but basically we go by if a student qualifies for STAAR Alt2 and they're just happen to be coded as an emergent bilingual or an EB student, they will do TELPAS alternate instead of TELPAS. Again, this is the grade 2, where that's the only little variance. Basically for grade 2 students, if the ARD committee feels this student will absolutely qualify for STAAR Alt2 when they get to 3rd grade, then we will do TELPAS Alt at second grade as well instead of TELPAS. Again, if you have any questions, let us know, but y'all always do a great job with this. There are pieces where some students might not have the no authentic academic response or the NAR or the medical exclusions or exemptions. Get with us if you have questions for that. And then this is what one of those questions look like. One of the 40 questions, they're called observable behaviors. Again, this is reading 2, so this was the second reading, observable behavior. And basically you're just going through the survey as the teacher and documenting where the student falls on these particular behaviors. There's a manual for that. We will get those to y'all. And then you will have the copies of the observable behaviors. This is not a secure document, and still the teacher starts putting the teacher name and filling out the information in that. Once you are done with this, again, you will get it to your testing coordinator, so they will enter those 40 things into the DEI, but then we also upload this into the elevation paperwork to keep up with that documentation. So again, that is how to get stuff entered into the DEI. TELPAS Alt resources, more resources. And again, finally, all the manuals, can't stress it enough. If you read the manual, you're going to do great. And thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions at all about anything STAAR Alt 2 related or TELPAS Alt related, reach out to myself or your district contact in the special education department. There's a QR code to get to the oath. But we will also have a link to the oath in the information we send out to everybody. Again, thank you all so much. Y'all do a wonderful job, and thanks for all you do for our kids and for our school district.